Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Heya, we're here today with Chris Young.
Christopher Young.
Christopher Young.
Yes, Christopher Young.
This is his art station.
Just call me Chris. That's cool.
Chris Young. This is his art station here, and you can check it out at chris1000.artstation.com.
Yeah, indeed. You can also check out my YouTube at Saikusama65.
Yeah.
And I also have a DeviantArt, which is CJY18, all lowercase.
Interesting. You've quite a interesting names for them.
Well, I was a kid when I came up with them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they're in desperate need of updating.
Yeah. Well, actually, with DeviantArt, you have to have the pro membership to change your name.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of people would find really annoying because, you have to pay to get the pro membership. But, I mean, with that, you don't have to see any pesky little ads or, I think having that's okay. Anywho, can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Well, if my rich accent hasn't given it away, I'm from England, and basically I've always been into art. And when I got to college, English college, I studied graphic design, like branding. And then when I left college, I basically took on freelance branding, and I basically left branding to pursue digital art. And I started my own freelance attempt, and it's, for the most part, it's been doing pretty good. It's been catching up, and eventually it caused me to cross paths with Daniel here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've been lately I've been doing some character design, and yeah, you do a lot of character design yourself, and I've just been
I particularly like doing my own original characters and starting doing my own little stories. I find particularly exciting. And I noticed you like doing the same. You like creating creatures, which is always very interesting.
Yeah, well, I started out I love just drawing, and so I started out just drawing animals, and
yeah, same.
I did that for everything. I had projects draw animals for things, and I created some cards, some playing cards at some point, and they were all.
Oh, do you mean like playing like creature cards, like where you write down the stats and you play it with other people? You make your own cards.
Like what's it called? Ace, spades, playing cards.
Oh,
general playing cards.
Normal playing.
Yeah,
cards.
we had to design our own playing cards, so I decided to do animals. So yeah, I did a lot of drawings of animals. And then I decided, well, the next best thing for animals is creatures, really, because you're still using animal elements. And you get to create.
Yeah.
You get to create something different. It's not just draw this chameleon, and it looks like a chameleon. You can create it however you want. It's a creature. It can have half chameleon, and half something. I started out learning more of those designs, half chameleon, half bunny or something. It was quite interesting. And then it was like, oh, I better maybe should go down the path of trying something a bit different. And yeah, I just pushed it further, and now I'm doing character design because just really enjoying it now. Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, I can see, it's definitely something about like anatomy with creatures that exist in animals. I mean, in any form of like game or comic book, any unique creature is inspired by shape language that exists in real life, from real life animals and nature. And I can see that's what you're taking a lot with your designs, even creatures that I've seen you design that are very unique, you still have something in there that you can find in nature,
Mm,
which I find very interesting.
definitely. I commented on one artist's work and it was like, oh, I see a little bit of I can't remember what it was, a little bit of shrimp or something in here. And he was like, oh, I take so much offense because I'm trying to create something original. And I was just like, I don't know how I didn't say this. I was going to say this. I was like, I don't know how possible that is. Um, you
It's
know,
not. Exactly. You're
unless
absolutely right. It's
you know,
not possible.
unless you're creating something, out of this world, scary kind of scary,
Mm.
but
But, but even then, you've probably subconsciously found something to be inspired by without realizing it.
yeah, and I
Because
mean, yeah,
people have been creating and designing original creatures for centuries. And everything's probably already been done. All we can do is try and reinvent the wheel over and over again.
yeah,
And obviously nothing's going to be 100% original, and this goes for more than just art. But yeah, especially creature designs, when you're trying to create something organic, it's going to resemble something that is already organic.
yeah. It's like, oh, I had some course mates once, and they were like so worried about their designs being like original. It's like, well, don't worry about it being original. It's like just worry about what
Yeah,
you are creating, um, to create something good. If you create it and someone tries to sue you, well, you can just show your process work.
yeah.
It's yeah.
You obviously create something that means something to you. Because at
Mm,
the end of the day, you gotta do the whole drawing. So if you're not going to enjoy it, people that look at the art when you're finished are not going to enjoy it either.
no,
At least that's what I believe.
exactly. You got to. Like I've been listening to a few interviews and shit. Listening to a few artists and things. I think one of the tips he said was, you got to create for yourself. You don't want to. If you create for the public eye, or for fame or whatever, um, you end up not enjoying it, or you won't advance or
Yeah,
anything. Um, yeah. So I've used quite a few mediums. So I've done pencil, paint, um, digital. How
I
about
noticed
how about you?
when you use digital. When you
Yeah.
use digital, I noticed you use Photoshop, and you sort of, I don't know if you create your own custom brushes, but you do use Photoshop very similar to the way one would use traditional mediums
Yeah.
like pencils and paper.
Yeah.
I've worked in many mediums in my very long life of 23 years.
Yeah.
I've worked in like oil paints, acrylic paints,
Mm,
pen and paper, professional pen and paper. But no, in terms of digital art, I've been doing digital art, attempting digital art from the age of was probably 11
gee.
when I
Yeah.
first started doing digital artwork on, the old Windows Paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The old Windows Paint, yeah,
Yeah. I do.
the things I could create on that. The things
Oh.
I created on that. And
Yeah.
I was like making stuff, this nostalgia moment.
Yeah.
I was working on like creating stuff on just like Windows Paint, and
Yeah.
I've been creating stuff that my family members and friends just look at this like, how did you do that using Photoshop? And I said, what's Photoshop?
Yeah.
I didn't know what Photoshop was. And when
Yeah.
I did find out what Photoshop was and I started using it, you have no idea the leaps that you can make in your art by committing to a professional software.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sponsored by them, by the way.
Me neither.
But no, yeah. But no, seriously, if you like commit to some good software, if you can make incredible stuff with low quality, if you commit to a higher quality software, your quality and production speed will increase,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your limits are now boundless.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I used Paint, and oh my gosh, I used to do pixel by pixel. I just sit there doing pixel click
Yeah, you
here,
know, right?
pixel click there. It was just like,
Mm.
very, very
And you just make
minuscule.
the whole page bigger just to make the whole page bigger just to squeeze more in.
Yeah, I used to do like
It
editing
was
and
hard
stuff on
work.
there too. It's like, I would take a photo, then I'd delete a little pixel at a time, or delete like heaps of them, and then I'll start getting closer and closer to the actual image and just slowly deleting the pixels. Or slowly like
Mm.
tracing it or something, It was just, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, time consuming. But yeah, using
definitely. But
Photoshop.
it's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's hard work though when you use Windows Paint, but it's worth it.
yeah.
But no, I didn't go straight to Photoshop though. I basically, after I used Microsoft Paint, a friend of mine from college basically told me about um, Photo Plus,
Oh yeah.
which is a
Okay.
free software,
Yeah.
which is in fact a cheap knockoff of Photoshop. It is
Yeah.
Photoshop, broken, demented cousin.
Mm.
Um, but no, yeah, I worked with Photo Plus, and Photo Plus wasn't really that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was very close enough to Photoshop that you can grasp a general idea of how layers work, how
Yeah.
adjustment layers work, and all that stuff. And you sort of work from there. But no, I started using Photoshop when I started studying graphics at college because I did
Mm.
2 years of art at college, and then I did 2 years of graphics. And when I moved from art to graphics, I start using the appropriate softwares such as Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator,
Mm.
the banes of my life. I did not like graphics. The worst 2 years of my life. I loved doing art. I loved it when I was doing art at college. The best 2 years of my life was studying art at college. But when
Awesome.
I moved to do
Yeah.
graphics, oh, I hated studying graphics.
Oh
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what was wrong with me.
Okay.
Well, I understand. I understand a lot of people could like it, but I did not like graphics.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool if
It's
you
only
do.
for a quick one.
I'm not hating on. I'm not hating. I'm not hating on anyone that likes graphics or enjoys graphics.
Yeah.
But I did not enjoy it because what I liked about art was the fact that you could be creative and you can do anything. But graphics, it was the complete opposite. You sort of had to do everything by the rules. It's like what you were saying earlier about you create something for yourself, you're having fun, but if you create it for someone else, you're not passionate.
Mm. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's what graphics was to me when I was studying, and I don't know what was wrong with me that I thought there was a good idea to do it as a career when I left college. But I'm glad I switched to doing digital art, character design, and stuff like that when I did, because I have lot more fun talking to clients that care about their characters and their stories, and just creating cool pictures and working with a client and a team and just really knocking out some good ideas and working together and just having a bunch of people that care about the project.
Mm. Definitely.
When
Yeah.
when I was doing graphics, like actually for a career, my clients were boring and they were stupid.
Yeah.
Graphic design clients
Yeah.
are well, not professional. I wasn't professional. I was freelance,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
freelance clients were very unintelligent. Like their
Yeah. Yeah.
premise of wanting a logo or a poster was they wanted to run it. They wanted their own business. They wanted their own business so they wouldn't have to pay taxes and so they can be their own boss.
Yeah.
And when I asked them simple questions like, what is your business? What do you do?
Mm.
They don't know what to say because
Yeah.
they didn't think that far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get some really stupid responses back, which definitely make for a very funny story. What did you do? Like, how long did you study for?
So I studied for 5 years, in design
Oh,
schools. So, I was We were mainly design based, but I bring drawing into every project. I try and made it into an illustration project if I could. Um, I mean, they didn't really have here. They don't really have um, an illustration course per se.
Hello? Hello, I think I lost you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, did you hear my voice? I think my voice might have cut out.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I couldn't hear you last time. Something must have happened.
Just in case anything cut out, I was basically saying, we're doing these videos once a week. Thanks for joining us. I
Hmm.
really do appreciate you coming into Twitch, coming into YouTube to watch these afterwards. And we have some awesome artists, and sometimes things happen in the
Hmm.
videos, like voices get cut out. Yeah, things happen. So hopefully we can still do a video each week. I'm pretty confident I can, and yeah, we've got some exciting artists up. So yeah, just keep on watching. So we were talking about, I did 5 years of design schools. So I did a 2 year
Yeah.
course and then a 3 year course. And the 2 year course is mainly design. There was a bit of learning to draw, um, and drawing pencil, and there wasn't much paint, but there was some like digital artwork you had to create and things like that. And then in the 3 year course, it started off design, and then you could gear it towards what you really wanted to do, kind of a thing at the end, like major in something. So I majored in illustration per se.
Right.
But yeah, yeah. Well, I think we discussed you like animals, eh? But what is your favorite thing to draw?
Well, no, I know your favourite thing is animals, but no, I myself, I like drawing superheroes.
Yeah.
That is like you probably could guess from the drawings that you've seen me do that I like drawing superheroes or really action-like adventurer-esque characters. I have a lot of fun drawing superheroes or action heroes. Those are my favourite things to draw. But I like creating my own characters and my own stories. I even have my own like personal comic projects that I've sort of worked on over the years.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, superheroes and original characters and original stories. That's something I prefer and I enjoy drawing the most.
Mm. Awesome.
But I don't really have much experience when drawing creatures, so it's something I'm going to need to practice more.
Yeah. Well, um, definitely, learn a bit of, anatomy towards it. Um,
Yeah.
But I mean, each their own. Um, if you prefer character design and
Mm.
creature design, delve into that a bit further.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to be trapped as a one-trick pony.
Hmm.
So I want to try and make myself more diverse.
Fair
I
enough.
want to be able to
Yeah.
do character design, objects, environments, creatures, everything. I want to be able to do everything.
A
Which might
generalist.
be a bit too ambitious.
More of a
Yes,
generalist. Yeah. It
more
will
or
be
less.
hard as a generalist. Um, because if you say specialize in something like,
Mm.
you advance more specializing per se, like, because you get to spend more time on it, so you're spending a lot of time on doing animals and creatures, you advance further. But if you spend all the time doing all
Yeah.
this other stuff, it will trickle into, like, you'll get a little bit good at landscape, you're a little bit good at character design, which is fine. You can do all that and start to progress. It's kind of what I kind of do.
Mm.
I kind of am. I really thought I got good with creature design, and I thought, oh, why not give character design a go? Because I want to develop those skills now. So now it's like I've got this skill, and I can push further on the character design. Um, I also do want to do landscape design. When I get there to do some
Mm.
learning and that stuff, because sometimes, when I've got these characters and stuff, I want to do backgrounds, and sometimes I'm not too great with backgrounds. Like, sometimes
Yes.
backgrounds
Right.
can break or make a piece. Sometimes, if the background just looks slopped on, it could break the piece. Which isn't great. Got this great character design, and then you got this
Yeah.
background that's lacking. Um,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah. The
So
secret I
yeah.
find is the secret is all about composition. It's about scene layout. You need to make sure the whole page has a good
A good.
filter. So don't think of it as characters with a background. Just think of it as a whole painting. And I think it's really good to work from silhouettes and work out your
Mm,
foundations. What's the furthest point away from the eye? What's the closest point to the eye? The foundations and stuff. Like stuff that you could learn by typing in how to draw backgrounds on YouTube and just watch a
yeah.
walkthrough, which is how
Exactly.
I learn, or
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. You always are learning. You never can get to a point where you're like, I know everything now. I don't need to learn anything more. You'll always be learning. Um, and a lot of people don't understand that, and it's like, okay, they think, oh,
Well, it's
one,
the thing is, yeah,
one,
you're absolutely
yeah,
right. The thing is, when people start to think that they know everything, then they stop growing. That's
mm,
it for them. If they think they know everything, they might as well know everything, 'cause that's it for them.
yeah,
So I completely agree with what you're saying.
yeah. But there's so much to learn. I suppose sometimes it's about um what the actual purpose of the piece is. For this piece here, it's me showing the character off, trying to portray him and who this character is and everything. Um, so yeah, I'm just working on making the character good. I'm not worried about any background stuff. I'm not making it into a pretty picture to show all the web. It's just me designing really a character. Um, but yeah,
Well,
in some cases you have to be the landscape artist, you have to be the character artist, you have to be, the animator, because you have to change the pose, you have to do all sorts. So yeah, it's good to have all those skills, um,
mm,
to bring forward your
but it's
illustration.
like you said. It's like you said. You only have so much time to practice everything. You try to be a generalist. You're not going to be incredible at everything, you're going to be okay at everything or good at everything.
You'll be okay at
But
everything.
if you focus on one thing, you'll be yeah. But if you focus on one thing, then you know you can be the best you can be on that one thing. I'm sort of like trying to like outdo myself. My goal was to be amazing at character design, environment design, drawing assets and creatures. Assets are like objects and stuff. But yeah, so I'm just trying to be the best possible artist I can be, because what I find in my career, he says career,
Korea, yeah.
in my attempt as a freelance digital artist, that if you are focused on doing specifically character designs, you are limiting yourself. It will be harder to find clients if all you're doing is character design. You need to basically try to make yourself as appetizing to the clients as you possibly can. You need to sell yourself. You need to basically know what the clients want, and then look for those clients. So you need to open yourself up to everything if you want to be able to do this for a living, which is really hard because I can't quite say I've achieved that yet. But my mindset towards how I'm going to do it is based on just trying to make yourself as applicable as you possibly can. You start researching for projects, and if there's like a children's book thing and you're like, hey, I've never done children's book, then instead do loads of children's book-esque designs, post that on your social media as much as you can, like really childish style stuff, and then send the client and say, hey, I have a little experience doing character designs for children's books, and here's what I got. You've never done it before, but try it, practice it. Give it a go, try to master that, and then sell that off. You just, it is good to draw what you want to draw, and you're right, you do need to be passionate about it, but if you want to make a career and you want to make money for this, you need to try and learn on how to be passionate, how to get yourself passionate about any form of project you can get your hands on. Like, find a way to make it interesting for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to do it without...
Yeah, that rant over.
You have to do it without, getting frustrated. In a way, you have to...
Yeah.
The people, well, there's a good thing with trying to be the most, trying to have the most things in your portfolio to, get as many jobs as you can. It doesn't mean, though, you can't just be a character designer. But if you're going to go into that field of I'm just going to be a character designer, you've got to be, one of the best, character designers out there. You've got to be as good as Ian McCraig or Teal Whitlatch, or Teal Whitlatch is creature design, but you got to be as good as their level. Because you're in competition with them in a way,
Exactly. This is a very competitive industry. And you and I, my friend, we're somewhat close to the bottom, unless there's something you're not telling me. And we are competing with the elite, the people that have practiced their art for 5 times longer than us, and we got to try and catch up.
Yeah,
or jump out of the race when it comes first.
It's like some of the artists I talk to. It's like, how long have you been doing this? And they're like, my whole life, or how long does it take you to be good? 25 years, It's like, how long do you take to get good at this? It's gonna take, at least 10 years, It's not a...
Well...
It's not a do a course and you're gonna get good at it in the matter of the 5 years, You're still got another lifetime to get good at it,
Well, if someone asked me how long does it take to get good at art, I will say it takes as long as it needs to take. As long as you're committed, and as long as you will go through all those hard days, or the rejections, the constant clients that will not email you back.
Yeah.
And it'll take as long as it needs to take. What
Mm.
I'm doing is I'm organising my time in applying to projects, and if I get a project, working on the project, and also practicing my art and improving my art. Those are the only three things I try to focus on. Obviously, you need to make time for yourself,
Yeah.
like go camping with your friends or go to like on holiday or whatever.
Mm.
But at the moment, just I'm focused on those three things: looking for clients, working with clients, and improving my art.
Mm.
Trying to get to the next level, work on my weaknesses, turn them into strengths.
Yeah. And it's not easy
Which is
finding new clients, really. It's like, um,
it is me, isn't
there's so many people looking for them, so, it's starting to become, there's only this handful of clients, and there's like 1,000 illustrators or artists, designers trying to find their way to these clients. Um,
it?
but yeah,
That's why I said.
but it doesn't mean,
That's why I said.
there's
That's why I said
always,
it will take as long as it needs
yeah,
to take.
there's always opportunities, and some of it
Mm.
is down to luck, you finding this job at the right time, with the right skill
Mm.
set. Sometimes it's down to luck, other times it's down to skill, and you can't control luck. So I wouldn't do anything about that. The only thing you can do is just improve your skills and just try and grow as an artist. So if you stop growing, you're gonna miss out on these opportunities because you won't be at that level. So you just got to keep on
Yeah.
improving and try and get to the level that maybe you want to work for. Say, I wanted to work for Square Enix at some point. That could still be a possibility now that I'm doing a bit more character design. And it's a bit more it could fit in, like this here could, fit into the Final Fantasy world per se, if, he could be an interesting character in Final Fantasy or something. So, there's still room for me to achieve that if I wanted to really go towards Square Enix, because they're an awesome company. I like the games they produce and everything. And I'd like to work with them one day. I really like all their creatures and stuff as well.
Mm.
But yeah,
So what is your goal?
well,
What is your goal? What is your end of the road goal? Die happy goal.
die happy goal.
Rest with a smile on your face.
Yeah,
Yeah, rest with a smile on your face.
I would say, possibly because I've got my kids' book that I've drawn and created. I think getting that either probably published, even I would think that would be really cool as a animated series. So I think it would be getting that into an animated series. I mean, I have my goals of, I want to do a character of any medium for something like a game or a comic book, or, get it actually out there in a studio. I'd like to get into a studio. That'd be really awesome. As freelancing for the studio. I mean, it's very difficult for me to move country and get in and work with the studio. It would be really awesome experience.
Yeah, because you live in I can't imagine there's like many game or comic book like companies where are close to where you live. I can't imagine there is, unless I'm wrong.
Well, there's two places there are like design and movie related companies, which is down south in Wellington, because I'm in New Zealand here. So down south in Wellington and up north in Auckland. Those are I think there might be Christchurch as well, but those are only 2-3 places that have that kind of thing. Every other place has art, but they don't have, like, they might have design studios, but they don't have, gaming, comic book studio kind of a things here.
Yeah.
Definitely not where I am from.
And not any of the big names type of company, am I right?
Yeah, no big names. I mean, oh, there's Weta Workshops here in Wellington.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really awesome. They do well. I'd love to work there. That was one of my goals to get there. Um, 'Cause I like their stuff.
What
I
happened
like.
to that goal?
Oh, I just, I guess I just drifted off. Obviously because
Mm.
I haven't achieved it yet, but obviously because at the moment I'm focusing on the goals that are in front of me per se. Um, so the goals right now is for me to produce twice as much as I did last year, um, and at least just as good,
Mm.
or
Take it
hopefully,
one step at a time.
yeah, hopefully it's actually way better than what I produced last year, which is actually it's starting to be like, well, it actually is, like I doing this character
Mm.
design here. I don't think a year ago I would have done it as good, or would have turned out that great. Um, but now I'm doing it. I've learned a lot more. I know a lot more about anatomy. I'm always learning anatomy now. I'm getting a little obsessed now. I'm like doing like half an hour at night drawing again of poses and doing more anatomy. So that's good.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I'm just focusing on the goals that are at the moment. In the present. I still do have, goals in the future, like getting my book published, getting um, possibly into a studio. I mean, yeah, like I said, that's hard for me because it means I have to move from here. And it's not
Mm.
exactly easy to get a house in Wellington, or,
No.
because that's expensive rent out there. Those are the two most expensive places to live in New Zealand, is Auckland and Wellington. And there's
No,
always,
I'm sort of in the same boat because if I
mm,
wanted to work there's a few big name companies in England, but they're like in London
yeah,
or
yeah,
Liverpool, and that's quite a distance from here. Like London, maybe I could handle London. I
yeah,
could
yeah,
take the train to London
mm,
every single every couple of weeks, but I'd be knackered and
yeah,
probably
yeah.
dead on the inside. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. It'll be ideal
Yes.
to live over there, but if you're going to the more like city-based areas, things are much more expensive. Living there is much more expensive.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
But you got to get the offer first, though. If you're going to start thinking about making sacrifices and like
mm,
taking risks and going buying a place that you can't afford in a place miles away from home,
yeah,
you gotta know that you got a place in the company first.
yeah. It is a big risk, and there are
Mm.
artists out there that do take lots of risks, and they get rewarded. Um, like I think it was Black Frog, one of the Black Frogs. He lived outside the streets for a while, and he was until he got accepted to the studio. He didn't have much to live on. Um, yeah, so there are that sacrifice and reward. But for me, I really just want to be more of a freelancer. I'd rather work from
Mm.
home at the moment. I'm trying to get that achieved. So that's more.
It's hard. It is hard. It
Yeah.
definitely is hard working
Um.
from home. But no, I'm the same. I'm working from home at the moment, and I'm working freelance. But the reason I'm doing freelance is one of two reasons. One, so I can basically do the thing I want to do, things I
Yeah.
love doing, and eventually I'm gonna be able to move on to doing working in a company.
Hmm.
But in terms of my final end of goal, goal, I'm pretty much doing it at the moment. I just want to do it more with
Hmm.
better with more opportunities and more situations. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm already happy. I'm already working on a few projects. Okay, I'm already working on two projects at the moment, but
Yeah. Yeah.
come on, it's slow. But
Yeah.
have been more successful in the past, and I have been less successful in the past. But I'm happy when I'm working with a group, with a team, or working with a client, and we've got a good relationship, the team and or client. We're coming up with designs, and we're working on a story or working on a comic that
Mm.
means something to the people involved. And essentially, that's what I want to do in
Mm.
general. And it doesn't matter if I have to do it for free at the moment.
Mm.
You know, ideally I won't do it for free. In fact, rarely I do it for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it means I
Definitely.
have to do it for free, if I have to do it for free, rarely I would. But I would do it for free if I really enjoyed the project, really
Exactly. Yeah.
believed in the story, and I really got along with the team. But no, eventually I want to be able to like sign on to a big brand company. But
Yeah.
that's going to be way, way in the future, and you know I can't make it there by just wanting to do it. I got to do the work that I would be expected to do there
Mm.
now.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm
Exactly.
working for a client, whenever I'm working for a freelance client now, it doesn't matter if I'm doing it for free. It doesn't matter if I'm doing it for like crackers, working for exchange for crackers. You know, I'm going to
Mm.
treat it as professionally as I could. I'm going to do turn sheets. I'm going
Exactly.
to do like arrows, key points. I'm going to do all the objects and the character designs, the turntables, the whole work. And I'm going to
Exactly.
constantly keep trying to think, what can I do in the next design to raise the roof, to increase the value and grow as an artist.
Mm. Exactly. You can't
Mm.
be like, oh, this is a $5 job, so I'm only gonna put,
Uh,
this 5 minute thing. You've
what
got
I
to, this is an opportunity. I know it's only $5, but you've got to make the most out of it. So the
well
next client, the
at
next
this point,
client,
that's the best you got. Yeah, but at this point in our
mm,
careers, that's the best you got, isn't it?
yeah, that
And
can be
you
the
got
best
to
you got
treat,
sometimes.
yeah, but you got to treat it like it is the best. You got to treat it
Exactly.
like just like you're part of it. You got to bring the energy each time, because if you go into a project that isn't giving you much money and it's not for a big company, it's for a bunch of I don't know students and people working part-time jobs, and they have an idea, and you're just like, oh well, it's not that high profile, so I'll just do a cheap doodle. No, you got to bring the energy. You got to treat it as if it is for the big clients and the big team.
Mm,
And I understand, you have to prioritize your values, especially if you've got more clients. So what I do is I organize how much time I'm putting into work, not how much value, how hard I'm working, but how much time and in what order.
mm,
So like if it's a paid project, then that's paid a lot, and it's for a client that can give me loads of exposure. Then that's going to be at the height of my priority list. If it's something for a client that I'm doing for free, just because I believe in the project and I like the story and I like the characters and the team, then that's still going to be close to almost at the bottom, but not all the way at the bottom, because below that are the drawings I'm going to be doing for fun,
mm.
just for my leisure. And I know that I'm doing good if I can still make time to do my leisure drawings. And those are the drawings that I put on my social medias, my DeviantArt, my
Mm.
ArtStation, my YouTube, my Instagram, everything. Are the
But
ones that I do
definitely,
for leisure.
you do need time to just draw for yourself sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
awesome.
you
So,
could lose touch.
yeah. Any last words?
Thanks for having me on this call. It's been really cool. This is
Yeah,
the
you're
first time,
welcome.
so
Oh,
if
that's
I've
all
been
good.
rambling, I'm sorry.
It's actually
I do tend to do that.
surprisingly some artists that I talk to, it's their first time too. There's a lot of artists that haven't done this kind of thing before, which is great.
Mm.
I get different people, different opinions, which is awesome. So yeah, thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Um, and to my audience, thanks for coming in as well, for watching us, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This is Chris's page here. I'm just showing it now. Yeah, so thanks. Have a great one. Goodbye.
Bye.